Hi, this is Shauna Reed, and you're watching Bells and Belts.
Bills and Bells, what's going on, everybody? Cedric D here with Man Up. Joey's out this week. Joey isn't feeling well. Man Up literally just pulled in as soon as I got clicked live. Man Up, what happened today, man?
Man, it's a lot going on today. Been at work, just got home. Woo.
Goodness gracious, man. I was like, oh, is the sky falling today? Everybody, we all can come together except at 9 Eastern, 8 Central, man. It's freaking crazy, man. What's up?
Oh, nothing, man. How you feeling?
I'm like, what is going on with my freaking tag team part of the crime, man? but you're here. You're here. We're gonna knock this out. First, everybody. We thank everybody for tuning in. Joining us tonight. We got a hell of a freaking interview that we're going to do tonight. Before we do that, we got a little bit of housekeeping things to do real quick. First off, this marks 191 days into the Intercontinental title reign of Dominic Mysterio and another successful title defense of the Mega Championship for the King of the Luchadors, Dirty Dominic Mysterio. The man is untouchable, man. He really is.
That's because they letting him be untouchable.
Man, look here. I'm not here for your nonsense tonight, especially because you late. You gonna take this abuse. Damn it, you gonna take this dog on abuse.
Hey, I ain't late. I'm right on time. As soon as you hit that button, I clicked in.
Oh dear gosh.
See?
Just a reminder, guys. We are doing the holiday giveaway, so make sure that you get your live comments in. We are taking those comments and turn them into raffle entries for you guys. 2 for the live show, one after the show, the comment after the show is done, and that's for the giveaway of the AEW Unified Championship that is from Big Time Bell. So shout out to them. Go show them some love as well, and definitely thank them for sponsoring this giveaway. So don't forget about that. With that being said, we do have a guest. We have a current world champion in our midst, a veteran of the Mat Wars. Been there, done that, and he come on here on Bells to Bells tonight to share some of that with us. So without further ado, let's welcome him on board.
What's up?
What's going on, champ? How you doing?
How you doing?
Man?
All the way live.
Yeah, man. So I hear that like you're back, you freaking world traveling, crossing freaking time zones, and finally made it back just in time to join us here on Bells and Belts. Drew, thank you so much for the time, man. Appreciate it.
Not a problem. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. What's up? Hope you guys are good. Yeah, I just came back from a tour in Ireland, Northern Ireland, in Belfast, and
yes,
I flew back last night, and I'm here.
Are you jet lagged right now?
I'm sure I am. I've been jet lagged for years. So
The man jet lag. He got so many freaking time zones, but he's here tonight. So we definitely going to show you some love. Before we get started, man, let's go ahead and say hi to everybody.
All righty, let's go ahead and get this out the way here. Nesha, how you doing today? Wrestling Bunkers, how you feeling? How you feeling? Joey, you should interview. Well, we'll let Joey know. He's not here right now. We'll let him know. What's going on, Reese?
All right.
Damon, he got on me last week. I think it was last week or week before last about his name. So I'm getting it right today.
There you go. Good stuff.
Yeah, I agree with you, Nesha. I agree.
Oh, dear God.
Nesha says she needs a vote.
Of course you need to vote. Everybody wants a vote.
Yeah, and I agree with you again.
I
agree with you again, Nesha.
If you think he's a cheater, that means he's doing his job right. I'm just saying.
No, he ain't.
Yeah, he's doing his job right. So good stuff.
And Head, how you feeling?
Absolutely, man. So we're gonna dive into the career that of Drew Onyx, man. Like this we have a true veteran, guys. And we definitely gonna dive into this. He is the current AIWF World Television Champion, but we're going to get there. We're truly going to get there. But as always with all of our guests, we always tend to start truly at the beginning, and no better way is what is your very first wrestling memory?
Wow. I couldn't tell. I could tell you some of them.
Sure.
It was just first here's the story.
Sure.
I was born in Barbados, and there's a lot of Barbadians that's living in Montreal, Quebec, Canada.
Okay.
And we would get together as to do events and stuff like that.
Okay.
And there was a picnic that we were going to, so all the Barbadian descendants were getting together to go to this beach and have a good time.
Sure.
And I was with my dad, well, the whole family, but I was hanging out with my dad, and I see this big built dude, shaved head, beard. And I go, Dad, who's that? And he goes, he's a professional wrestler. No, it wasn't you. I thought it was you. The resemblance was uncanny. I had to take a double look. I don't know. We might even have to do a DNA test. Man up. We're going to have to talk offline. I asked the gentleman, are you a pro wrestler? He's like, yeah. And the gentleman's name was Del Skinnard. All right. He was a wrestler that wrestled in quite a few areas. And the first question I asked him was, is wrestling fake? Now, mind you, I'm like 7 years old.
Whoa. Press pause.
Okay.
No, you literally asked that?
All right. If you know anything about me, I'm as bold as
okay.
I'll ask whatever I need to ask, because I needed to know, because I was in love with the pro wrestling. Because pro wrestling for me was the closest thing to comics. I'm a big comic book head. Seeing these guys with masks and capes and flying around, do athletic, crazy feats of strength. It was like watching the Justice League or the Avengers. But anyway, So I asked this guy, and he said this. He's like, who am I going to have more loyalty to? Some kid who asked me or my boss? And I said, your boss. And he goes, right. And he walked away. And I was like, okay. So that was my earliest. Okay. And as far as watching it, in Montreal, we have international wrestling that had the Rougeaus, Rick Martel, Dino Bravo, the Great Tonga, a whole bunch of, Dan Crofat. Yeah. So we're watching that. Plus, we also had WWE that would be coming on Saturdays. So,
all right.
Those were my earliest.
I'm going to blow your mind real quick.
What do you know about the international title? Why do you have, dude, you know what's funny? I'm a big mark for that title. Currently, there's a wrestler, PCO, Pierre Carwillette. He has the original one. Okay. He went and got it refurbished.
Nice.
And he's brought it on and he defends it. But that's crazy. That's one of my favorite titles, because I used to see King Tonga versus Dino Bravo constantly fight over that belt.
My first memory with that belt was when Great Samu had it.
Okay, now listen, stick your hand out. Go like this. I'm sprinkling cool points. Crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, the Great Samu. All right.
Yes. I got introduced to him. Eddie the Brain Creechman, Floyd Creechman, Dan Crofat, Gino Brito,
Bravo, Tom Zink.
Mm-hmm. So Steve Strong,
sadistic Steve Strong.
That dude looked like $1 million freaking bucks.
And then they would bring down people like I just was watching.
I think he froze up on us.
Yeah, I think he froze up on us.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll give him a few seconds here.
Oh yeah, all right. So you say they bring down.
Yeah, they would also bring down like the Road Warriors, the Garvins. Okay. Abdullah the Butcher would come in from time to time, but that was my earliest, recollection of watching wrestling every Saturday just to watch that.
Exactly. I was born and raised in Detroit, and we had the CBC. So right. I would tune in at noon on Saturdays on the CBC to watch international wrestling. I went to the phase in 86 into 87. Whenever wrestling was on my dial, I had to watch it. Now and I watched it on this small black and white freaking TV, but it was freaking wrestling, Canadian wrestling. So
yeah. I was so addicted. Like before, we had a sports network, but you had to pay for it. Like TSN, we had to pay for it. Sure. So if you didn't have the channel, it was scrambled. They had Stampede Wrestling, and I remember my eyes going bad. Like to this day, I wear contacts through the scramble.
Oh my God!
Stampede Wrestling.
He went there with the scramble.
I'm scrambled, completely scrambled. Like I got a lazy eye because I keep on watching. It was terrible. It's terrible.
I'm telling you, us kids growing up in the 80s, man, the struggle was real. We ain't having it on the devices, man. We had to fine tune the channel just to try to make it come through.
So to get that antenna, somebody had to stand like this,
hold it,
like the leg up, and you bet not move.
Liberty.
Move. Don't move.
We got it.
See. Yeah. I remember those days. Oh man. So now that you got your feet wet watching wrestling, your first memory, how did you feel about it?
Watching it?
Yes.
It's like I said, I was addicted. I had to watch it, and then once it was that, then I watched Stampede, I watched WWE. George Cannon had Maple Leaf Wrestling, so there was a few other gentlemen that was more in the Maritimes. And he had like wrestlers, Dark Angel, Big Mac. And what was crazy about that, the two guys I just mentioned, they were both African American or Caribbean American. Okay. And yeah, because was Dark Angel was from Jamaica, and oh
wow, he keep freezing up on us.
Yeah.
So I thought that it was like role models. You look for role models because, you like your heroes, but when you find a few that you could be associated with, like absolutely. I saw Del Skit, and when I met him, like I said, bald head, shaved beard. Who knows subconsciously if that was in my DNA and I just shaved my head and I had my beard and tried to emulate him. So it is what it is.
Awesome. All right. So being the big wrestling fan and whatnot. How and when did that translate to you getting into the business?
Okay, well, I strayed away from it for a bit at one point. You get older in your adolescence, you're doing different things and stuff. And I had a background of playing football, and I played football up to semi-pro in the States, and I also played university ball.
Okay.
Guys, and it was 1, 2, 3 Kid versus Razor Ramon. It was that match, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, who? And not in a disrespectful way, but I'm like, who is this 1, 2, 3 Kid? Because he's good, and I've seen him, but now he's fighting Razor Ramon, and I'm like, this guy can't be 200 pounds. I said, if this guy is wrestling, I should wrestle. And then my boys jumped on me, and they're just like, yeah, whatever, you can cut it. You're all talk, but in my head, I'm already, bad behaved on the field. I was already a talker, getting my.
Oh man, that's the start. That's the start.
You're halfway there.
Yeah, basically.
You're halfway there. So absolutely.
But they made me have a bet saying that join a school, and if you finish the school, we'll give you $100. Well, there was 7 of them, so I'm thinking $700. I'm like, bet. So I contacted a promotion in Quebec because this promotion used to be on the back of like PWI and a few others like around the world, and they had like a small indie, and it was called Northern Championship Wrestling.
Okay.
And I was familiar, and I was like, what is about this? Anyways, I went on the internet at that time, and I contacted the booker, and the booker at that time said, okay, you need to speak to the guy who's teaching.
Okay.
I said, okay. And so I called up this gentleman, and the person that I was talking to, the booker, his name was Hubert Bertrand. He writes a lot of books. He did a few books on, like, I think Andre the Giant. Anyways, he's one, he used to be a major booker in Quebec wrestling. So I contacted the person in charge of the training. His name was Marc Pilon. And I contacted him and I said, hey, I want to wrestle. And he's like, call back in 6 months. And he hung up on me. And I was like,
what the heck?
Whoa.
I said, what? So I said, all right. So I called back, and it was in January. It must have been like the second day. I said, hey, I'd like to join the school. He's like, we're booked up. I said, listen, I'm 6'2", I'm 300 pounds. I play semi-pro football. I just had an NFL tryout. I've seen some of the guys on your website. I'm bigger than them. I'm a better athlete. You tell me you can't use me? He's like, all right, Big Mel. Come show up. So I went there, and I always heard the stories about, the old timers, will try to beat you up or break your leg or tough. Sure. So I was training in submission wrestling already, and I was just taking up boxing. So I said, okay, if they're going to break my arm or leg, someone's going to lose an eye. I'm going to make sure they remember me forever. That's guaranteed. And I'm not going to even let them know,
Right.
But the reason why I got into submission wrestling, I never thought it was even possible to get into wrestling, because I inquired. I didn't know. It wasn't like on the internet now where all the information was out there. It was so obscure. So I said, okay, well, the closest thing is King of Pancras in Japan. And it was a gentleman that was like a recruiter for them. And because King of Pancras at the time, they were having tights and kick pads, and it was inside the ring. I said, okay, well, this is the closest I'll ever get to pro wrestling. So I was already training with that gentleman and that school. So I got there hype. I'm like, okay, this is it. You know what I mean? I'm going to test these guys. These guys are going to test me. I'll probably take a beating, but I'll tough. And I'm wearing my like NFL not my tracksuit, my semi-pro tracksuit. So when they walked in, they know they're dealing with an individual. Sure. And it's at a bowling alley. Like, this is my first introduction to indie wrestling. Okay. So I see this bowling alley, and I'm like, this must be the wrong place. I even go downstairs. I call. Nobody's answering the phone. I'm like, and the gentleman who's working at the bowling alley, he's off wrestling. He's upstairs. So I said, okay. So I'm expecting like a dusty old gym, the smell of sweat and just people grunting and these monsters. I walk in, and I just see like these two guys and a mat. And I'm like, this is definitely the wrong place. And I'm like, is this for the pro wrestling training? And the coach was like, yeah, it is. I said, okay, well, I'm here for a practice. Before he asked me any question or anything, he chopped me.
Whoa.
So he wanted to see what my temperament was. Was I going to beat the man or, whatever? So as soon as he chopped me and I sold it.
Pause.
Yeah.
I got to say, if I walk in and I ask you if this the wrestling school and you just chop me and I don't know what's coming, it ain't going to end well.
No, you're right. 9 out of 10 times. 9 out of 10 times. Yeah. But like, I don't know whether I anticipated or whatever.
Okay. Yeah. He froze up again. He coming back.
Yeah, he's coming back. We got a little glitch in the matrix there. Yeah.
So
they keep freezing up on us. But
that's fine. Yeah. So then what happened was I started to wrestle, and then usually, it takes about a year and a half to be able to be at least decent.
Sure.
And what happened was the school didn't have a ring set up. The only time I could train was when they had shows. So they would have shows twice a month. So all the rookies, before all the wrestlers came, practice a little bit. And then after the show at 10 o'clock, 10:30, everybody's gone. We would have a 3-hour practice. So we would finish around 2:00. Then we had to tear down the ring, bring it back to the original destination, and put it up. So I wouldn't get home until like about 4:30, but I didn't care about that. So we would do that at least twice a week. So a lot of my students, sometimes I tell them they're spoiled because they have full access to a ring and a gym and everything. And when I tell them, well, when I was starting out, they think I'm a prehistoric. Like, they don't believe me. They call me a liar. But anyways, to get back to the story, so 6 months in, one of the wrestlers who was supposed to fight my coach, who was the NWA Quebec champion, because Mark the Grizzly, his opponent didn't show up. So the booker's like, oh, yeah, he told me he wasn't going to show up, but we don't have an opponent. So my coach says, well, Drew could do it. And I'm like, no, I can't. I was like, you always think about the moment when your coach tells you, come in, I want to talk to you in the office. And you hear like the angels singing in the choir, the lights shining. This is your moment. You are ready. And then you'd be like, okay, I've done a year and a half. But it was 6 months. And he's like, yeah, you could do it. I said, no, I can't. He said, if you follow my instructions, because I was a quick learner and I was athletic and I had a very good understanding of pro wrestling. But he thought I was ready. And coaches usually have an idea. But it was an arena show. It was in Barnois, Quebec, an arena show, main event, my first match. You know what I mean? So
wow.
Yeah. I had a practice match before.
Approximately how many people? Approximately.
I don't know, about 300 to 500.
Okay.
Like,
That's a good crowd. That's a good crowd.
Yeah. So that's my first. I didn't even have a wrestling. I didn't even have gear. This is what happened. I had an Ice Cube shirt, so I cut off the sleeves. I had some football shorts that I practiced because I was going to practice. I had these big black Cooper knee pads, and I had wrestling shoes from my submission days. That was my gear.
Oh, wow.
They're like, what's your name? And I'm like, okay, well, I played this role-playing game, this dice game, like this wrestling base, and I had a character named Drew Onyx. I said, okay, I'm Drew Onyx. He's like, where are you from? And I'm like, Scranton, I don't know, Scranton or something, New York, Watertown, New York, because we just played them. My semi-pro football team just played them. So I was like, Watertown, New York. It sounds good. And what's your entrance? And it was, what's the day? Dark, what's the name? Dark, DMX, Rough Rider Anthem.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
That's it. So I come out now and I'm in front of this crowd and I followed and I did everything that my coach told me, and nobody could tell that it was my first time. But it was a little bit easier because I had a musical background. I was a recording artist for hip hop. So getting to the studio, doing interviews locally, I would be opening up for a lot of, like, I used to open up for like members of Wu-Tang, Redman, Onyx, a whole bunch of people. So being in front of a crowd never intimidated me. Okay. But that was it. That was my first match.
All right. So so you saying you just played. Were you doing the football at the same time?
Yeah. So yeah. Well, yeah, pretty much, because I was doing football, then it stopped. I was playing for the Plattsburgh North Stars, which was the semi-pro team for the New York Jets and the Toronto Argonauts. And that year, just before I joined, I had a tryout in Connecticut for the NFL. And that was it. So I was riding high. I didn't get there, but it was, it was what it was.
Hey, sometimes that's people's journey. You never know. Sometimes this can open up doors for other things. They're just how it goes sometimes.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So, all right. So after the debut, you're off to the races now.
Yeah. So now I'm wrestling, and I'm wrestling like the top guys. Like, if the first match was against their champion, then it was their, like, the secondary champion I had a feud with, and I was doing well. And then after like about 10 matches, I had to go back to football, because what happened was I went to the NFL. I didn't get a contract, but there was scouts for CFL and university. So they looked at me and they said, okay, well, listen, we just brought back the Ottawa Rough Riders to Ottawa at that particular time.
Sure.
He goes, play Ottawa University, because I still had I was eligible to play semi-pro. I mean, sorry, to go into university and finish up.
Okay.
Play, and then after that, you can go to the Rough Riders. So I had to stop my wrestling career to finish up at university. So I did that, and then after that, I didn't get signed. I busted my shoulder.
Ooh.
And then so I went back to wrestling, and then I started to wrestle for the Lou Dukes, Carl and
sure,
his father's promotion. And I can't remember his name right now, but he was a former, not Joe LeDuc, the other one that was AWA champion with him.
Oh gosh,
I should be shot. I should know it by heart. Not Pierre LeDuc, Carl LeDuc. Anyways, whatever. So Paul.
What was the name, Cedric?
Paul LeDuc.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as soon as I'm freezing, he can tell us about.
Yeah.
Paul.
So I started working for him.
Okay.
And as I was wrestling there, Smith Hart from the Hart Brothers.
Sure.
He saw me and he said, "Okay, I'd like to take you up, north." So I went to the Hart Brothers school.
Okay.
And I trained and I wrestled for him. And Smith.
Now, now, what during this time? Was that in the famous dungeon?
No, it was the Hart Brothers. It was
okay.
Yeah, so it was the Hart Brothers. Okay. They had a school in Ontario.
Okay.
And so I was there and I was training with him, and Carl was there also.
Okay.
And Smith was a character. Smith was the coolest guy.
Okay.
But you used to hear always the most outrageous stories with Smith Hart. There's a long-winded one but it's too long to talk. Or just to give you an idea, just to give you a quick idea.
Paraphrase it. Yeah.
All right. So we're on tour, and he's like, "Okay, we got to stop at Dunkin' Donuts, all right, sure. or Tim Hortons." He's like,
Tim
"Okay,
Hortons.
so we go to him. He gets us coffees, and then he gets a clear plastic bag with almost 100 donuts, like every flavor. He must have cleared out the whole counter. So we're all in the car eating donuts. Everything's cool. We finally get to the venue, which was at a camping resort. So they have us in cabins. They have me and him there. So I'm like, okay, this is cool. I get to pick his mind, get to know about Brett, say, my condolences about Owen, but get to know about Owen and stuff like that. So we get to our cabin, resort, and it's me and him. And I noticed there's 2 pillows on my bed, but there's only 1 pillow on his. Now he's the vet. He's the one that's booking us. Sure. He's the promoter of this. So of course I'm like, "Hey, do you want this pillow? Do you want this bed?" He's like, No, it's okay. I have the donuts. I said, "What?" He rolled up whatever leftover donuts that we had, and he put it under his head, and he slept on those donuts. The next morning I wake up and I see him outside. And I said, "Hey man, what's going on?" He's like, "Right." He's like, "Do you want a donut?" By then there's ants in it, crawling in it, mush jelly. And I'm like, I'm good. This man ate those donuts, because we were already eating them for 2 days straight. Half of us had diabetes by the time we got to the resort. When I tell you that this guy slept on the donuts and then had them in the morning, that was crazy. And that's just one of the stories.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but Smith was cool. Smith was cool.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So what's happening now? I'm going to all these these territories, and all these old school wrestlers gravitate to me.
Sure. And
so I went to Carl LeDuc. He used me. Paul LeDuc. Smith Hart was there, saw me, took me to Ontario and Calgary and worked there. Okay. And then there was another gentleman, a Sonny Warcloud, that worked at International and a few other places.
Okay.
Wow, that's crazy. Sleeping on donuts. They're often with the ants in them. Wow.
It was crushed. The jelly was mixing in with the chocolate. It just looked like an autopsy, like something blew up, and inside the bag. It was terrible. But he was cool. God bless him. He's not here anymore. But not to say that I was just crazy. He had the best breakfasts. You would walk downstairs, and he would train you to fight Godzilla. You had like 80 eggs, Canadian bacon.
What the?
A Smith Hart breakfast would have you ready to fight Superman. You'd be good for 8 days. You wouldn't have to eat. So
I don't know, but the way that sounded, if you really chat on that bread, you're gonna get the itis. Just like
yo, No, you would think so, but you know what I mean. Your passion to wrestle, you know, but he understood. But the New Japan also did that. I had an opportunity to train with the Inoki Dojo, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and that was the same thing. You were conditioned to get up early in the morning because just say a typical New Japan training would be this.
Okay. As soon as you come back, a typical day. As soon as you come back.
Yeah, it froze up on us again.
Yeah.
Cool. So so 6:30.
Okay.
You're eating till 7:30. From 7:30 to like 9 o'clock, you're in the gym working out on weights. And by 9 o'clock, you have a 3-hour training. And the 3-hour training consists of warm up with like Bushido sticks. So you have these sticks, and you got to do all these balancing and you know, rotation and warm up stuff. Then you had a skip rope for 10 minutes. Then 1,500 push-ups, 1,500 crunches, and 1,500 Hindu squats you had to do. Then
you get in the ring.
then you got to learn all the different roles.
Oh,
so like, you know, you're doing all these different roles, and then just 2 hours of wrestling. After that, there's something called shoji, where you have to clean up the ring and, you know, everything and make sure it's spotless for the next practice. And then you have like a half an hour break to recover. And then the second half of your training consisted of either MMA training, kickboxing, massage, yoga, and weight training. So each day would be a different thing. Like, you know who Herb Dean is? Herb Dean is like one of the major officials, referees for UFC.
Yeah. Herb Dean.
He was training us in the mixed martial arts.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah. They had like, and I remember my first day there. He's like, "We're gonna do some boxing practice, some stand up. You know, have you boxed before?" And I had background in boxing. First thing he did was pop me in my face, black eye. First practice, big shiner, and just to let you know who was in my class, it was crazy. Remember Daniel Pewter?
Yes. Okay.
Daniel Pewter was in that class. He would like I was a good submission wrestler, like without bragging. I was a good. This guy beat me up every day. He was trained by Frank Shamrock every day, but he was a stand-up guy. He'd kick my ass and then he'd take me out for dinner. So I'd be like, you know what? I love that. So Daniel Pewter was in the class. Rocky Romero would come from time to time to help train, but he was there. Finn Balor was in that class. Okay. What's his name? Anderson.
Carl Anderson.
Carl Anderson was in that class.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, but he came just before I left.
Okay.
But so it was a crazy class, highly competitive, and you were training hard all the time.
I'm just getting it in my head. Like after the freaking warm ups, after all the push ups, the squats, and all that stuff, I could just imagine the puddles of freaking sweat and bodily fluids that's left on the freaking mats.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, you think about that, and then you think about how I never did. Like, I had football training, and football training is tough. The 2-a-days, getting ready for the season and stuff like that. But at no point have I ever had to do 1,500 push. I still can't do 1,500, but I know I could do 800.
Sure.
And I know this because you had to. You had no choice. Once you're at that level, you couldn't do that. And how I got into the Inoki Dojo is that I was wrestling for the NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance.
Yes.
And I was a promoter for them. And even at one point, I was on the board of directors. But they had a 54-year anniversary show in Tennessee.
Sure.
And I was the British Commonwealth champion at the time, and I was fighting Fergal Devitt, which is Finn Balor.
Okay.
And we had such a good match that they approached us and they invited us to the dojo to train.
I love that. The British Commonwealth Championship. I understand you have that belt.
Yeah, I have the original belt. It's currently the champion right now is Wilson Colas, but I have the original belt here.
Oh,
it's about 25 years old. Just to break down some of the science of it, the NWA. Where did everybody go?
No. We just gave.
I thought you were going to show the belt.
Yeah, we give you the full screen.
Yeah. So here it is.
There you go.
So people have considered it the other world title because what happened was at the time of its inception, TNA had the rights for the world heavyweight and the world tag team titles.
Right.
So the North American title was like the major title for the NWA at that time. But when I was the champion, I became a globetrotter. I traveled everywhere to defend. I would defend it in the States, England, Wales, and not just me. There's other people. Paul Tracy defended it in different places. Finn Balor defended it in different places. So it was considered the other world's belt. And what's interesting about it is that I was the second person to ever win the belt. Because Spider was the original one at the 53rd anniversary show. I think it was either in Texas or Florida. I believe it's Florida. And it was Spider, a gentleman from Winnipeg, Manitoba, versus Finn Balor for the title. And Spider won. But they didn't have a belt. So one of the Florida promoters used one of their old heavyweight championships for the belt. Then it was contested and the belt was held up. And then when they decided that they wanted me to win it, there was no championship. So I'm a big belt mark as far as not just holding belts, but the science of it. Like I read books. Absolutely. I have books on belts. I just bought an AWA book, everything about the AWA belt.
Yeah. I need to get that. How have you started reading it yet?
Yeah. Well, because the AWA World Heavyweight Championship, the Bottwickle belt, is my favorite belt of all time.
On the shelf right now.
Right. So don't let me come to your house. I'll steal it,
dude.
But getting back to this.
Yeah.
So because I love designing belts, and it has to be like. Everything has to be an Easter egg. So this front plate is from World Class. It's a World Class centerpiece that I took.
Okay.
Then I decided to put the British flag behind all the continents. Now, I was the first person to ever do that to a belt design. Yeah. I did that for this belt and I did it for the Canadian. And now it's widely copied, but nobody did it until I did it. Then, just as another Easter egg, I took two of the countries that were under the Commonwealth at that time. So I'm born in Barbados, so that's why it's there.
Sure.
And I'm a Canadian citizen. So that's why these two are where they are.
Sure.
And then there's like New Zealand, Australia, Singapore, India, Jamaica, and I believe it's Cameroon. Yeah. And the original, because it's been repainted by Belts by Dan, and refurbished, but it's a Reggie Park belt.
Okay.
So beautiful. And it's gold plated. All my belts are gold plated. So just the legitimacy of having, a championship belt. So Reggie Parks did it, made it. I designed it. And what was interesting, the original, they messed it up. They put a light blue and a yellow here. A Bermuda, they used the Bermuda colors. They got it messed up. So so for the longest time, the belt wasn't accurate with the Barbados flag, but now it is.
Okay. I freaking love that freaking history lesson right there. Yeah. And holding a Reggie Parks belt, original freaking belt it's freaking amazing, man. I love that. I love that. You said Belt by Dan refurbished it.
Yeah, he refurbished. Amazing work. He did that, and also for the NWA Canadian Tag Team title. I'm going to show you in a second.
Okay.
But yeah.
See, we bells and belts. We got to have the belts. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Well, once I saw what your show was like, I'm like, this is right up. So this is the NWA Canadian Tag Team. Now, once again, the Easter egg about it is that I wanted it to be the twin of the NWA US titles, just the red ones. And so originally that's what I wanted it to do, but I found the shape was off. And originally there was supposed to be red leather, but just because if I ever win the belt, my OCD won't allow it. If the belt's red and I'm wearing purple or something, I can't wear the belt. So anyways, we kept it to black, and then we changed it up a little bit. Whereas, all belts usually have stars here, so I changed it to maple leaves. Once again, I put the color inside the flag. Nobody was doing that until I did it.
I love that.
With the British Commonwealth, then I did it. Then I put the coat of arms, so I wanted to make sure it was intricate.
Oh, very, very nice.
And then now these guys was just random, like a plate. But it's funny. The first people who did win the belt when it was in my promotion were actually twins. So, and the twins actually look like these guys here. So, so people thought I made it for them. So even though I never had the red leather originally on it, when I got it refurbished, belts
red backing.
Yeah, put it on the back. So
okay,
so, yeah,
that's good. That's
it.
That's fire, man. I love that.
And these are thicker. It's gold plated. It's thicker than the British Commonwealth. Okay. So these cost like the British Commonwealth cost 3 G's to get done. Sure. And this was 3,005.
So it's safe to say that that's TV accurate.
Yeah.
I had to throw that in there. I'm sorry. I had to.
I was waiting for you to do it. You muted.
You gotta unmute yourself. You muted yourself.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah.
The one thing is though, the faceplate, I took it from the NWA World Heavyweight Championship that they had in 87, 88, like when when Tully and Arn had them.
Tully and those tab belts.
The ones that were blue. So
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Man, I think you got that one. I have.
It's on my shelf behind me.
Yeah,
it's on my shelf behind me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's nice, man. That is nice.
Yeah, man. I love.
We at Bells, we love the belts. That's why we call Bells and Belts. So we appreciate you showing us that, man. We're gonna have to bring you back on one day to show off your collection. But let's go ahead and continue with this real quick. I'm sorry, I had to throw that in there because we love belts.
Yeah,
that's cool. Well, so do I. So
all right. So you made the runs with NWA. And whatnot. Talk to us a little bit about a little bit more about the promotions in Canada.
Okay, well, there's definitely some good promotions in Canada. I've been running a promotion for the last maybe 19 years, Torture Chamber Pro Wrestling. The oldest promotion in Quebec, though, is Northern Championship Wrestling. They've been around for like 30 years, and I've wrestled for them. I was their champion. And you know what? Promotions in Canada are no different than in the States. You have the ones that are run well.
Sure.
You have the ones that are professional looking.
Sure.
Then you have the other ones that are Bush League. And then you have other ones that are just terrible. A lot of times, like in Quebec right now, there's so many feds. There's like 40 feds when there should be only like 5. You know what I mean? But
that does sound like the U.S. though. It does.
It sounds like everywhere. It's always the case. You have some legit feds that try to produce talent, try to promote talent, try to promote good wrestling, and then you have people who would be like, and you know what? And I'm not going to even fault them because there's a style and place for everybody. You know what I mean? Like some feds you would think is the worst. And then there'll be like 500 people there. You know what I mean? Because their friends are involved or whatever the case may be. So I'm not one to knock it, but I'm just saying, quality is always better than quantity. But there's a little bit of everything for everybody here in Quebec and across Canada. You have good feds and you have your feds that shouldn't be there.
With a lot of the indie scene promotions that I've seen, whatnot, when they'll get that big pop in the beginning, but do they stand the test of time? A lot of them don't. A lot of them don't.
Well, a lot of it has to do with the lack of know-how and knowledge. Some promoters are only getting their information based on what they're seeing online. I was fortunate enough, like I said, when my career started, I was hanging out with all these old school wrestlers.
Sure.
Another thing is when I had tryouts, I had 2 TNA tryouts.
Okay.
I had a New Japan tryout. So whenever I had an opportunity to be in these places, I would be like, a fly on the wall and just watch how the production was doing it. And when nobody was looking and the show was over, I would take down all the notes off the walls and read and figure it out.
Exactly. Yeah.
I would always pick their brains. I would always try to better myself. And every time I had an experience, then I would bring it back. So the first time I went to TNA, I think it was a Boston show, and I wrestled for them. Okay. I just saw how the locker room was and how it was conducted. And excuse me. Once I took the notes, I just removed all their names and put my guys in there and try to study the format. So, and I do that constantly. I just had an opportunity to agent a match for Maple Leaf Wrestling, Scotty D'Amore.
Scott D'Amore. Okay.
You know what I mean? So right there, I was watching, and I had a friend there who was doing the gorilla position and just handling being an agent. And some people may not know, when I was a guest host at the Performance Center at WWE a few years back. Nice. So I had an opportunity based on my performance at the center. They liked my character and how I conducted myself. They allowed me to agent 2 shows. Okay. So I was an agent backstage. The matches would be going on. I would have the headset, and I would be giving the information, the timing, when to go home, and all that stuff. And it was on the job training. So
I love that.
Once I got that, I took that back. So every time, I'm a sponge. Every time I go to a place, I try to emulate, duplicate what they're doing. And basically, I'm just like NXT on a budget.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. But yeah, exactly. But it's like you said, like those opportunities are freaking priceless, man.
Yeah, and that's some of the things that you really don't see too much these days. People going to the elders, I guess you could say, like a better phrase. I'm sorry, but people going to the elders who've been there and done that, and that can teach you something, and you getting that knowledge, and then you wanting that knowledge to further yourself. A lot of people don't do that these days, and I'm curious on why, when the knowledge is right there.
Because it's easier to go on the internet and not be confronted with somebody. Do you understand? Like you got to do an eyeball check. If you go up to, like, just say Terry Taylor, he's going to look you up and down, and based on your questions, he's going to dictate how he's going to answer you.
Yeah.
All right. You don't have to do that with the internet. Internet, you just watch and you'd be like, okay, I could do that. A lot of people are scared of confrontation. And I don't mean confrontation like something bad, but to interact with people. You know what I mean? It happens all the time. We're all stuck on our phones. I was just at the gym working out, and everybody's on their phone. You'll be in a social setting and people will find it hard to interact with each other. But if you really want it, who's another person that was very much like that? Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They would not care. They would go, they would interact, they would talk to people. They'll be bold. Like Owens ran up to Stone Cold Steve Austin and said, hey, how can I make it? Blah, blah, blah. You need to do that. You got to.
I remember he told that story.
Yeah. So that's it. And I had an opportunity to get Kevin Owens ready for his tryout. So story with that is I get a call from Kevin Owens, and he's like, hey, can I use your ring? So I was like, okay, just pick up the keys and go to my school, because I run a school, Torture Chamber Pro Wrestling Dojo, at 20, not today, but this year. And so I just thought he just wanted to use the ring. He's like, no, I want you to train me. I got something big that's happening soon. I can't say what it is.
Sure.
But I said, okay. So I said the advanced classes. He's like, no. I want to start at the beginners. I want to start. And he did everything that was required that the beginners had to do. And mind you, he was like 2-time ROH champion, wrestled all around the world, did big things, and he's humbling himself because he sees that he is destined for something greater. Right. And sometimes when you're destined for something greater, you gotta humble yourself and be modest. And he came in and he did the push-ups and crunches and all the drills and stuff like that. And then 2 months later, he went for the tryout and he got it. And then he came back to, and he would come back to my school and just, say a few words and talk to people and give my school and me some props. And even one time when he won the IC championship, he brought a replica for me and he gave it to me. And he said that, if it wasn't for me, he would have had that. So he presented that to
I
me.
love that.
I have that up on a wall in a frame.
I love that. Good stuff,
yeah.
Man. I love that. Good stuff.
And I gotta say this here. I've said this even to my wife and other wrestling fans. I said I've always was drawn to Kevin Owens' athleticism. I don't know what it is about him, but he is athletic. And I'm not trying to say nothing bad. Don't get me wrong, but I was drawn to him because of that. And I'm a huge fan of his because of it.
Yeah, no, first of all, he's a stand-up guy.
Yeah,
a true gentleman. Currently, he has a neck issue, but I think it's getting rectified, and he's going to be back soon. But I'll tell you another story.
Sure.
So I first meet him early, like he's just starting out. He just finished the Rougeaus, and now he's working, the system in Quebec and stuff like that. And he's having a match with this other guy that was really good. His name was XS69. Anyways, they're tearing down the place. The match is crazy. And I'm in the front row because storyline, I'm suspended and I can't wrestle. So I said, okay, I'm going to sit in the front row. I ordered like 100 chicken wings for all the fans. And we're just eating chicken wings, throwing bones at the people we don't like. True story. I'm rocking Cleveland Browns gear from like head to toe.
You gotta show. I gotta find that on YouTube or somewhere. I gotta find that.
That's gotta be on YouTube somewhere.
Dude, I've done a lot of stupid things in my life. So sitting down here, we're eating chicken wings like a stereotype, like hundreds, and I see these two guys wrestle, and they're tearing down the house, and Kevin is amazing. So I take a $20 bill and I threw it into the ring as a tip. This guy, without breaking stride, it drops. He kicks excess, picks up the 20, tucks it in his wrist tape, and keep on working. so I.
Oh wow! I love that.
That was a good one. He's like, money. It's mine now.
Yeah. He just looked at it, put it in, tucked it in. So then I started the Mr. Wrestling chant, and then that became his moniker, Mr. Wrestling Kevin Owens. So I was the one that started that. I was like, this guy's outrageous. And he was always modest. Always cool with me. And he got signed, and the first thing he did, like he already paid me back by coming and talking to my students.
Yeah.
Then he got on the Chris Jericho podcast and put me over like $1 million. And it was crazy because just the week before, Finn Balor did the same thing. So it was like back to back. 1 week, it was just Drew Onyx. So when I tell you my subscription for the school went like from 0 to 60, it was amazing. Well, all that press. So anyways, he decided to hook me up. And he's the one that spoke to Triple H. Because Triple H was talking to him and asked him, like, his life. And he said, oh, I trained at the school. And he goes, is this the best school in Quebec? He said, honestly, it's the best school, is one of the best schools in Canada. And then he said, well, if it's one of the best schools in Canada, we should contact him. So I'm playing video games,
sure,
2K, whatever. And I get a call and they're like, hi, this is office of WWE. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And I just hung up. All right. Because it just sounded like, and then it called back and goes, yeah, hi, this is Levesque's office. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Boom. And I'm not even paying attention. I'm just playing video games. Yeah. And then I get a call from Kevin like that day or the next day. And he's like, what? I said, what? He goes, what's your real last name? I'm like, why are you asking my government name? And he's like, well, where do you live? I said, where do I live? I'm like, do I got to be concerned? Like, I'm looking out the window like Malcolm X wondering what's happening. Why is this guy asking me about all these things? So I'm like, he goes, I'm going to come and show up today to the class. I said, all right, cool. And so another jerk thing that I do, I never tell my students when celebrities or wrestlers are coming in because they, of course, that's the day they all show up on time.
Exactly.
There is immaculate. They're ready to listen. And don't get me wrong, I have some really good.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Yes, this is a good one.
Oh yeah.
Or a WWE celebrity, all of a sudden, it's like you're watching an early version of NXT. No one's making mistakes. Everyone's working hard. So here's the funny thing. Two of my wrestlers, like two of my top guys, they come in, they're like, we can't practice today. I said, what do you mean you can't practice today? He goes, oh, my knee. And the other guy's like, oh, my shoulder. I'm like, are you sure? There's nothing I could do. Maybe I could like rub some voodoo on you. No, you know, it's better. It's better. Okay. Drew, you've always told us, you know.
Wow.
You said you always told us.
Yeah, it's freezing up again.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh wow.
This is too good. This is too good.
Oh, there's more. So yeah. So they're like, no, we can. I said, so there's no way you can practice today, sir. We don't want to continue and make the injuries worse. We're just gonna sit here and take notes. So they're sitting down feeling like, yeah, we don't have to do anything. Blah blah blah. We get this easy night. Kevin Owens strolls in with the Intercontinental title on his thing, and I didn't tell anybody. Tell anybody. And then all of a sudden, they're like, "What?" My shoulder's not doing too bad. I think I can practice. I said, no, man. You told me. And your knee. How's your knee? No, you know what? I'm going to tough it out. But you just told me that you got to take care of your energies. And then at the end, they're like, please, sir, let us practice. We want to impress this guy. I'm like, all right, go. And what's messed up was I have another student who's the biggest Kevin Owens fan. And every time Kevin showed up 3 times, every time he didn't show up. So Kevin's doing a speech and whatever, and my phone rings and I look and it's the student. So I go outside. I'm like, what's up? He's like, sir, what time is the practice over? I said, what do you mean, what time is the practice? Is it too late for me to show up? I'm like, where were you? He goes, I didn't know Kevin Owens was going to be. I just hung up on him and I just.
Wow, dude.
So the same student, the second time he's there, one of his friends, I didn't realize about it, but one of his friends goes, can I use the bathroom? I'm like, yeah, go use the bathroom. Like one of the trainees. I walked out for whatever reason. She's calling him saying, you better hurry up. Kevin Owens is here. Stop messing up. So anyways, it was just those type of things. But anyways, Kevin Owens was the one. Oh yeah. So that's the story. So after talking and taking pictures with everybody, he goes, I wasn't trying to be creepy. The reason why I was asking you is that WWE is going to call you real soon and invite you to the WWE. And I'm like, what? Yeah. They're going to call you. They're going to try to get your information, and they're gonna bring you to as a guest. So I now check the number that I hung up on twice, and it's a Connecticut area code.
Oh wow!
So I tell him what, and he's like, "Did you really hang up on Triple H?" I'm like, "I hope not. I'll talk to them, and I'll make sure." And I'm just replaying it over and over, like the first time I told somebody "fuck off," I'm like, "Yeah, fuck off." And then the second time I'm like, "Die slow." I'm busy playing Madden or whatever. So I'm not thinking this. Like, how many times do you get a call saying, "Oh yeah, this is the WWE, Mr. Man Up, Mr. Cedric. We would like to, sponsor your podcast," and whatever. I was preoccupied.
I'm not gonna lie. I probably would have did the same thing.
Who wouldn't?
Because you're right. You would have not thought you were getting that phone call. If they would have called me right now, and say, "Hey, we want to bring Bells and Bells to our back room," I was like, click.
Yeah, I
ain't gonna lie.
Don't do that. So I get a call by Matt Bloom.
Yeah.
He goes, "Hi, this is Matt Bloom. Don't hang up." I'm like, "No, sir, I won't." And he said, so he sets it up. We'd like to bring you down. And at the time, it still didn't register to me that I thought I was just going to come there, watch, do notes.
You could have said,
play the game with the D. I could have, but who knows? Anyways, that's funny.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So yeah, Matt Bloom calls me, and we set this up, and I went down there, but when I hung up with him, it didn't register with me that they wanted me to be a guest coach. I thought, like, I'm going to go there, take down some notes, look at the facility, like a guest, have a pass, and that was it. But the way he was talking to me, he was like, okay. So it was like the equivalent of, you've been a head coach for a university program, you know what I mean? And you've won the Rose Bowl or the Orange Bowl, and now the Dallas Cowboys contacts you and wants you to work with their offensive line. So it validates who you are, but at the same time, you could be a little bit intimidated.
Mm-hmm.
And but I was up for it because prior to that, I had 6 tryouts as a wrestler for the WWE. So I'm like, let me just finish what I started as far as that. So I went down there, and I impressed them so much that they let me be an agent for 2 of their shows while I was there for the weekend.
Yeah.
And they started to allow me to send my trainees for tryouts. So
nice.
And and it was just cool. So it was a cool experience. So since then, I've sent like 4 or 5 directly from my school. Then there's some people who weren't from my school, but I was really impressed with them, so I gave them some opportunities. And then when WWE was having their first ever Canadian tryout, their reps contacted me to confirm if certain people were deemed fit. So
nice.
Yeah, so it was a cool experience.
I love that.
Yeah, that was a good one.
We're past the hour point. We can keep going, or we can
let's keep going.
Okay,
let's get the party going, man.
I'm here. I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Okay, I gotta take a pause, but y'all keep going. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. So so you're the current AIWF World Television Champion. Talk to us about when you got started with the AIWF.
Well, the AIWF contacted me, and there was a gentleman there, a Matt Classic. He contacted me and he said, "Hey, I'd like to have you be a part of it. I'm aware of what you did with the NWA board of directors and stuff like that, and he's always heard like positive things about me." And at first, I was hesitant because I just didn't want to. Like, I have a lot on my plate as it is, so I didn't really want to not necessarily be a part of it, but if I couldn't do it properly, I didn't want to do it at all. I didn't feel like it was right to. So I said, well, what did you have in mind? He's like, set up a Canadian chapter, crown a Canadian champion, and stuff like that. So I did that. And
you set up the Canadian chapter, set up Canadian champion.
Yeah, so I set up a Canadian champion, and then after that, I start getting my guys being a part of it. At one point, they were looking for somebody to be AIWF World Shoot Fighting Championship, and I had a gentleman who I trained, Mustafa Jordan, who had a background in catch wrestling, and he was just somebody that was perfect. Opportunity for the title. He won the title in Canada, and since then he's defended it in Canada, in Australia, States. He's going to Mexico right now to defend it. I had another gentleman, La Pulga Victor, arguably one of the best wrestlers not to be signed. He smooth, like a Spanish Finn Balor, just really good. And he became international champion. And then after that, he left to go back home to Spain. And then he dropped it to another gentleman, another guy from my school, Paulo Triassi. He's been with me for 17 years. And he was our current Commonwealth Cruiserweight champion. And since he had that belt, he's defended it in the Commonwealth twice. He's defended it in the States, defended it in Canada, a real workhorse. So once they saw that I had representatives that can promote the brand and conduct in a professional manner, and I made sure that I let others before I had any kind of opportunity or anything. And I never asked. And he contacted me and said, "You have an opportunity to work for the television title." And I told him, first chance I get, once I have it in my possession, is I never understood why someone would call a title a world title and not defend it around the world.
Exactly.
I found that very markish, you know what I mean? And that's why none of my titles originally were world titles, but we made it. The British Commonwealth has been on 3 different continents, and that's what will constitute it a world title. So that's what I want to do with this title.
Absolutely.
First of all, the champion who had it before, Buzz Bloodsaw, was an amazing champion, and he was defending it in Canada, and he defended it in the States. And now my game plan is now to defend it elsewhere. So I just finished coming back, defending the title in Northern Ireland. I think it's the first time it's been there. And my stops I'd like to do eventually: Japan, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Spain. Those are on my list for this championship. The whole idea is to make sure that by the time my run is finished, I elevated the belt.
Absolutely.
When you're a champion, the belt will elevate you. But once it's done that job, now it's your job to add more prestige to the title and leave it better than when you found it.
Absolutely, I love that. I love that. And you making these rounds, getting these miles in, getting these air miles in, being a true world champion. It would seem like the next step will be the AIWF World Heavyweight Championship. That title recently just changed hands. I know the champion Lou Gotti is based here in Texas. Being the world television champion and you to the new world champion Lou Gotti, you say what?
Well, first and foremost, congratulations. No one just gets the title to get the title. You had to put in work, and your potential to do well with the title is why you've given an opportunity with it. I can't wait to meet him in and out of the ring. I've seen his work. I think that we can get some good matches going. There's been some talks to get him into Canada for some title defenses. So, yeah, I want him to have a great reign until I take it.
There you go. That's what I was waiting for right there.
I know you're an instigator. You're an instigator. I saw what you did.
Gaslighter. You only know says a few minutes. Yeah, and you said
gaslighter. Gaslighter.
No way.
Yeah, because you're like, he's the new champion. What do you want to say to him? Yeah, all right. See, that's why we can't go. That's why we as a people can't go far. We're tearing each other apart. It's terrible.
I love it. I love it.
Wow.
All right. Real quick before we train. You train. So I definitely want to give you a chance to plug your school train the train that you do up there.
All right. So at the Torture Chamber Pro Wrestling is a constant progression of improving the training techniques. How I trained people 21 years ago is not the same. You learn, you get experience. Experience is the application of wisdom, and then you try to give. So it's a combination of my time spent at the Inoki Dojo, my time spent at the WWE Performance Center, and just combining that and plus life experiences and just trying to improve, and also listening and learning from other people that were greater than me. So we run in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. We've had international students. We've had people from Belgium, France, Italy, Spain, either train with us full-time or come to visit.
Sure.
We've had people stateside that would travel from New York to come down here. We had one guy from Plattsburgh that would routinely come weekly, taking that 2.5-hour trip back and forth, 3 times a week. We've got people ready for tryouts, like I said before. We, some people who've got signed was trained by me. Brianna Brandy, her first training was with me. Sydney Akeem, who used to be Reggie in WWE.
Yeah.
He came to my school to help prepare and get himself ready. He just came back to Montreal to do a show for us for our biggest show of the year. We have something called Pandemonium. We're up to Pandemonium 4. It's a beautiful place, Paradox Theater. It's online the whole show. And so you come to the school. We're going to train you the basic fundamentals. We'll teach you how to conduct yourself in and outside the ring, how to work TV, psychology, ring presence, ring placement, how to do promos. It's the end all. It's the one stop, to get you to the next level. And
I love that.
And Torture Chamber on IG, Facebook, Twitter. Drew Onyx, same thing. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, even TikTok.
Okay.
Something we haven't touched back. Abdullah the Butcher.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I read about you meeting them and whatnot. Talk about that in the SOA Amin character.
Well, yeah. So a lot of times when I met some of these old school wrestlers, they're like, "You know who you remind me of?" And I'm like, "Yeah, Abdullah the Butcher." And I don't know if it's as a compliment or not, but young Abdullah, I could take anything else after that. So when they're like, you know, you could be like Abdullah's son. You know, Smith Hart was saying it, Paul LeDuc was saying it. So I had an opportunity to run into Eddie Guerrero at a gym, and I spoke to him about his career, you know what I mean? But not his WWE career. I was telling him when he was in New Japan, when he was the Black Tiger and stuff like that. So he was impressed with the fact that I knew his work. And I asked him, you know, I'm not assuming that everybody was, but I told him I'm not roided up. I'm not a gym body. I want to do like Mick Foley did, travel different places, get my name with an international appeal rather than, you know, how can I do it? And he said it was a lot easier now because of internet, but, you know, contact people, this and that. So I started looking at promotions and I looked at NWA UK Hammerlock. And I spoke to Andre Baker, who was the promoter at the time. And he's like, you know who you look like? And I said, yeah, Abdullah the Butcher. And then he's like, do you have the gear? And I didn't. But I told him, yeah, I have the gear. It was okay. Oh yeah. Oh, listen, hello. That tour was the most. I learned a lot about myself. Yeah. I learned a lot. I'll tell you quickly. So he's like, okay, you look like Abdullah. Do you have the gear? I'm like, yeah, I have the gear. No problem. He goes, okay, if you have the gear, you can come. I said, okay, well, how much you pay me? He's like, pay you? I don't even know if you're good. Get yourself over here. And if you're good, we could discuss it. And I'm like, I'm hungry. That sounds fair. Okay. So I get off the phone and I'm like, where am I going to get all this gear now? I'm living in a one-room apartment. You know what I mean? Like a studio apartment. I got no money. Like at that time, I was so broke. I was eating peanut butter and bread. So I'd have that. When the bread ran out, I was just eating a big scoop of peanut butter in the morning, a big scoop at afternoon, and at night. Like the only I loved. Listen, so now I'm like, I need gear. I need to get a plane ticket. I got to get shoes. I got to get the wrestling curl toes. I got to do a lot of things. So one of my friends, his girlfriend was a seamstress. So I said, okay, can you make some like genie pants, like more like Sabu rather than Abdullah, but the same theme? He said, yeah. And then I'm like, where am I going to get boots? And I just paid $600 for the first pair of boots. Right. And I could wear that, but I'm like, I want to be accurate. Like, you know. So I go to my I go to my boot maker, and in the window is these curl toe boots. And I'm like, what are the chances? So I walk down, and the gentleman's name is Gus, and he's done boots for Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Shawn Michaels. This guy is the king of boots. And I'm like, where'd you get these curly boots? He goes, oh, they were for Cirque du Soleil. They were shoes. I said, can you make them into boots? He goes, yeah. I said, how much? And so he tells me $500. So the gear is going to cost me $250. The plane ticket at that time there and back was $800. I don't even know where I'm going to stay, but he said he could provide that. I'm like, how am I going to get this money? So I start calling up all the women that liked me, but I didn't like. And when I told you I went on a Gigolo Express, dude, no lie. No, I'm not going to say I sold ass. No, but I'm going to say I got the money that I needed. I told a lot of lies. I told so many people that I shouldn't have, that I love them. Wow. So, yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Oh God. It was a lot of hiding in shadows. Wow. And they knew it because they're like, no. I'm going to take you out for dinner, but it has to be in a public setting. And it was a lot of, Drew, take off the hood. I want to see your face. So anyway, so after I got the cash that I needed, I booked the plane. I got the gear, I got everything. I got down there, and they had to meet me at Heathrow Airport. Now, I don't know these guys.
Right.
I have no idea, if they're going to even show up. I could get there, and there might not be anybody. And when I told you, I don't even think I had $5 in my pocket because I had to pay for everything. So I'm $5. I'm at Heathrow, and I'm not saying that the promoter Andre Baker was part of a criminal act organization, but the people that was with him looked like they were part of a criminal organization. So I was very afraid to get into the van. Like, dude, it was straight out of a movie. All right, mate, get in the van. And I'm like, I'm inspecting it for blood stains and stuff like that. Like, everything was cool. But then he drove like a criminal. So, like, whatever unfounded, theories I had, he just racing. So we get to the venue. Mm-hmm. My heart starts to regulate because I swear to God, he was flying down like he was escaping Satan. It was bad.
Wow.
So it was in Kent. We get there, and I'm going to tell you about the Abdullah thing, but it all goes with that. So we get there, and he's like, "You're going to be in a tag team. You're going to be a babyface." I go, "The son of Abdullah as a babyface? Like, I can't see it." Like, he goes, "Yeah, you're fighting some Irish. People hate the Irish here. It's going to be an easy night." So these are your opponents. So it was a gentleman named Paul Tracy.
Okay. And
Fergal Devitt, Finn Balor. So this is the first time I'm meeting Fergal Devitt and Paul. And they're looking at me like food. They're looking me up and down like, "Oh yeah, we can't wait to wrestle this guy." But they were spot on. And we wrestled for 7 days. Every day we would wrestle, and 5 out of the 7 days. Okay. And great matches and everything. So much that I said, "Hey, you know what? I'd like to take you two guys out for dinner." Oh, but getting back. So after that match, I have to go home. No, it was before that match. So I got there, and it's before the match. So yeah, this is very important. So they're like, I said, "So where am I staying?" They said, "Okay, we have a wrestler that will let you stay at his house." So I'm like, "Okay, cool." Even though I don't know this guy, I said, "Cool." So I walk into the house. There's no furniture.
Oh wow. Nope, no furniture. Oh wow.
Yeah, it froze up again.
Yeah.
He says, "Hey, sorry about that. I just came back from the Gulf War. I just moved in. I don't have any furniture, but here's a sleeping bag." So I'm like, "Okay, whatever." So I'm in the sleeping bag, and the man was a soldier in the Gulf War, right? I told you. He's having night terrors. He's yelling and screaming and yelling and screaming. And guess what's under his pillow? A gun. So now I'm like a worm, like a worm in the sleeping bag trying to get into a corner and get away from whatever area that he might wake up and start shooting. When I tell you the whole night I was sleeping standing up, it was crazy. Crazy. This guy's rolling over and over and yelling and talking about landmines and shit. And I'm standing in a corner like the Pharaoh in a sleeping bag, hoping that this man doesn't get up and start blasting me with this gun. So I tell Andre Baker the next day, I'm like, "Do I have to stay at that guy's place again?" He goes, "Oh, the night terrors." I go, yeah, he has it bad. I'm like, "You didn't want to tell me this?" Anyways, so we have the match. Now remember, I don't know if I'm getting paid. I got no money. I don't even know where I'm going to sleep. You know what I mean? So right now, this beginning of this tour is just outrageous. We have the match. We tear it up.
Sure.
And so they said, "Okay, we're going to take pictures with the son of Abdullah." So they were charging £10, which is roughly $20.
Sure.
And 65 people stood in line and took pictures.
Nice.
When the promoter saw that, he said, "Okay, let's make a deal. We'll cover the Now all of a sudden we're friends." He's like, "We'll cover the cost of the film and that I'll take," and then we split it half. So I made almost like $1,000 that first night. So I said, Can I move into a hotel? Yeah, I took the $1,000, put it down the first night. Didn't have to worry about night terrors anymore, or whatever the case is. So that was my first stint as Abdullah the Butcher. Then I went to Ireland. Then I went to Japan, and then I felt kind of funny because I was like, I never met Abdullah. Sure. I say I'm the son of, but it's basically his gimmick. Right. I would want to have an interaction with him.
Right.
Anyways, I hear that he's on an interview, and someone asked him, "Hey, there's a guy in Quebec that's playing the son of Abdullah," and he's like, "Yeah, I heard. I like him. I think he's doing great. We could do business." You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, that was a relief. And then the following year, I meet Abdullah. Abdullah is getting an award at a show that I'm at. So I meet him, and they're like, introductions. Abdullah the Butcher, this is your son. So, you know, so I'm like, "Hey, Pops, how you doing?" He's like, "Yeah." He goes, "Are you any good?" I said, "Come on, I can't be better than the original." Yeah. He goes, "If you can't be better than the original, what's the point? It's a waste of money. When someone asks you if you're good, you tell them you're hell good. Are you good?" I said, "Yeah, I'm better than you." Then, but that was it. And he was really cool. And
I love that.
That's it.
Good stuff.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. Wow.
I freaking love it. Drew, man, this has been freaking amazing, man. This has been a treat for us, man. And we definitely thank you for jet lag and all making the time for us this evening, man. We appreciate this so much.
Cedric, forget that. I want to see the AWA belt. Show me the belt.
Yes, sir. I got you.
And I see some badass belts behind you, man. Also, man,
I got a lot of personal belts that I designed myself.
So. Oh, you design belts?
Yeah. Well, not like that. It's just something that I think of in my head.
All right. But then you go to a belt maker?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So here's the story. Can I tell you one last story?
Please do.
That is my favorite belt of all times. The first, dude, like I'm drooling here. So let me see the top of it. Okay, hold that thought. I'm just gonna run and I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna be right back.
Yeah.
No.
I love it, man. I love it. We can talk. We can talk belts all night long.
Oh man, that's why we call bells and belts.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we talk. We can talk belts all night long. So, but yeah.
Until you come back, but yeah, man, that was a cool story.
This been good, man. I love it.
All right, so
that's the book. Yes.
All right, so I'm a connoisseur, not just wrestling belts, but even boxing belts, anything belt related.
Sure.
So this is my favorite belt of all time. So here's the story about this and why I joined the AIWF.
Okay.
After, so as a kid, I walk into a convenience store that had magazines, and I see Rick Martel with the AWA belt, and I'm like, that belt looks so big. It looks like Captain America's shield. I
think I got that magazine with the. I think I have it. I gotta remember though.
No, keep holding that belt. I want to see that belt. Keep holding that belt. No, you're not allowed. Yeah. I just told you that's my favorite. Yes, keep holding that belt. So
this thing is heavy, my dude. This thing is stacked.
I know, and as it should be. It should be.
Yes, sir.
As it should. So I saw that, and I was like, oh my God, this is a belt. This is the only belt. This is the ultimate belt. And then when I saw the big gold, I like the big gold, but I always felt like it was a variation of this belt. This is the ultimate belt. Mm-hmm. So I also work as film and TV as a consultant for anything wrestling related that's in Quebec. So there was a TV show, a comedy called La Theory de KO.
Okay.
And I did 2 seasons, and what I did was I trained the wrestlers. I did all the fight choreographies and everything like that. So, and I also was a stand-in for one of the wrestlers. One of the wrestlers had this similar build, so I did all the wrestling for him.
Okay.
So one episode, or the grand finale, they have Rick Martel. Rick Martel there as a special guest and whatever.
Nice.
And so he's upstairs and he's chilling and he's talking. And he's talking to non-wrestlers at that time. So he's talking about, with Sadistic Strong, I had to fight him. And then I had this beer bottle. And I turned around and I said, and you smashed it on his head. He's like, yes, you know about this? So then I start telling him, like, international and this. So now he gets up from the actors that don't know who he is. And he comes and he sits down next to me.
I love that.
We're talking stories and we're talking about international and AWA and him and Stan Hansen. And then I had to tell him, I said, you know what? You're the reason that, you were one of the reasons why I got into wrestling even more, because I saw you in that magazine. You had this belt that came up to your chest.
Yeah.
and the AWA belt is my favorite belt of all times. He goes, this belt? And he pulls out an AWA championship. And I'm like, whoa. And it's the only picture in existence as me as a wrestler where you see the 6-year-old kid.
Sure.
I'm taking the picture with him, and you could just see, like, I'm like, whoa. And 01 has the rights to that belt.
Okay.
And 2 times I had an opportunity to wrestle for them. And for whatever reason, it got messed up. And I got so disappointed because the only thing on my bucket list was to win that AWA championship. And I thought, okay, well, if 01, a Japanese promotion, has it, I can go in as SOA. And the Sheik, there was a wrestler called the Sheik.
Yeah.
Recently, last few years, he was the NWA champion and he was the AWA champion at the same time.
Okay.
And not to be anything against him, I was physically sick when I saw him with the AWA belt. I was physically sick, and not because of him. I have no issues with him, but the fact that he had access with the style that I wrestle like we have the same style, the Sheik Abdul, and he had it. I was just like, I didn't want to get out of my house. I was depressed. I was in the fetal position. It was just terrible.
You weren't sucking your thumb, were you?
Dude, we were almost there. We were almost there. It was just, I was rocking back and forth. I was like, oh no. So I'm like, okay, so my dreams of the AWA belt has been dashed. You know, I had a pretty good career. I've won 35 championships.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of things. I met a lot of cool people. I wrestled, WWE people in the past and stuff like that. That's it. So when Matt Classic contacts me from AIWF, I'm already like, oh, you know what? It's going to be a lot of investment. It's going to be a lot of work. I want to be able to give 110%. I don't know. I have the time. And at the same time, I'm just scrolling through their website or whatever. Yeah. And what do I see? I see
their belt.
Their belt. And I'm like, wait, this is based off I said, hold on.
Yeah.
I contact the president, the champion at the time, Golden Boy. I said, hey, that's a nice belt. He goes, yes. I call it the Bockwinkel belt because it's based off the AWA title. Yeah. All of a sudden, I'm like, Matt, I'm in, Matt. Matt, I'll be your guy in Canada. But until now, he doesn't know why.
Well, he do now.
Yeah, but I think he has ideas because I posted the picture of me and him and Rick Martel. I posted the magazine, the first magazine I saw, and I posted who is the current AWA champion. So now he's going to be like, wow. But I'm really having a lot of fun at AIWF. There's 150.
Oh wow!
Cool people that are there, and whether I get the belt or not, I don't politic, I don't go up to people, I don't bribe, I don't do that stuff. I want to be warranted for my stuff. But let me ask you this. I'm going to ask you guys your 3 favorite belts of all time. I'll say mine quick. AWA, the ROH, the Square One. The UWF Heavyweight Championship.
The Mid-South one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the UWF Mid-South, the squarish one, the one that Steve Williams had, Dr. Death.
Okay.
He's one of my favorites. Anyway, so him, yeah. I already don't like you, Cedric. I already don't like you. I see where you're going.
Uh-huh. What's the third one?
It's a toss-up. It's a toss-up between the Intercontinental title.
Which one?
The one that Macho Man had.
The one in my hand, okay.
Oh wow.
The one in my hand, okay.
And then if I had to go a little bit more, then it'd be the big gold. But for me, I stopped liking the big gold after everyone else liked it. You know what I mean? When I felt it was like the go-to. Yeah, Ric Flair. See, Ric Flair was somebody that look at this shit. Look at this. All right, that's the US title. That's the US tag team title. I like that.
That's 1.
All right.
This is 2.
All right.
And I got put acetone on it to give it that brasso look.
I saw that. You know what? Here's the funny thing. I'm almost gonna stand correct. So you know who Sylvain Grenier is?
Yes.
right. So I've worked with Sylvain Grenier. I even trained people at his school at one point, and he asked me to design. He asked me to design the single belts and the tag team belts in his promotion, Top of the World.
Okay.
And he kept on saying, "I want the belt to be nickel." I said, "Nickel? Why nickel?" Because that's the Intercontinental title. I said it was never nickel. It was gold. He goes, "No, it was nickel." So even the belt maker was like, "Yo, man, I'll do it for gold and I'll do it for free." I said, "No, the man wants the titles nickel. That's all." Oh, the third belt is King of Pancras title. That's the one I really like.
Okay.
So, anyways, so now that you told me brass, because I always thought it was gold. So you're saying that it's not gold?
Well, it was gold, but legend says that the Macho Man was trying to clean the belt. He used Brasso to clean it. Brasso will eat away at that gold plating, so it gave it that two-tone look that you tend to see, right here. So like later into the his title reign, he wanted it was all gold, but over the year that he had it, you will see it's more like this. And when Steamboat won it. It was like this. When Honky Tonk Man won it, it was like this. But during Honky Tonk Man reign, they went back to all gold, and the red went away. And it was gold. So yeah. But my favorite belt of all time is this.
Oh, that's a beautiful. The TV title. That's amazing. Like, but it's funny when I see that automatically Arn Anderson.
Yes, absolutely,
automatically,
absolutely.
So, what's your favorite? What's your favorite 3 belts?
Well, I'm gonna start with my least to my favorite.
Okay.
My least favorite is it's the current United States Championship. I do not have that belt. I'm trying to get it.
Really? Why? Why the current?
I don't know. I just like the 3D pop because a coworker of mine have it and he showed it to me. And then 3D pop, I fell in love with it.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get that belt, but one day.
All right.
Anyway. That's the number 3. My second is the IC, the oval version. That's my favorite version of the IC.
The green one?
No. That the one that replaced the classic.
Yeah, the oval shape.
The purple one.
Yeah.
Really? Why?
I don't know. I just love the style of that belt. So
all right.
I love the
affectionately on this show. That's called the bastard.
Only by him. But the oval shape
is the bastard because like you don't go from this to that. I'm sorry, you just don't.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about that belt? It's just squares. It's just square, but it works. Anyway, sorry. And line up. What's your third one?
And then my all-time favorite belt is the Big Eagle. Love that belt.
Yeah. The Big Eagle, not the. Okay, the Big Eagle rocks.
He gonna
this one right here. Right here.
Yeah, the one with the Triple H hat.
Yeah.
No, actually, this is the one Stone Cold was presented with blue with the croc backing.
Oh, gotcha.
But still, any version of the Big Eagle, my all-time favorite belt.
That's crazy.
Yep.
And you, Cedric.
Yeah. The U.S. tag, the IC, and the TV title. Those are my favorites. All those classics. All mine is based off that 86, 87 era.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm huge on that. We're gonna have to bring you back just to talk belts. So
all right, I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Just like because we literally can go another 2 hours just talking about freaking belts. So I'm just saying.
Oh yeah,
all right.
Like I said, I like to get my own designs of belts. Everybody like to get their own thing with belts, stuff like that. So we could talk belts all day.
Amazing. I'd love that, man.
Absolutely. We'll definitely reach out. We gonna schedule so we can do this again. Absolutely. This is
most definitely.
Absolutely. So thanks again, and thanks for everybody who's still with us 30 minutes after the fact. We definitely appreciate it. But like we as you can see, we left a lot of meat on the bone. Drew said he's gonna come back. You guys come back as well, because we do this for you guys every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central, right here on Bells and Belts. So y'all keep watching. We keep bringing it to you. Drew, once again, thank you so much for the time. It's been amazing, and I can't wait for us to do this again.
It'll be a pleasure. Thank you, guys.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And we will see everybody here next week, right here on Bells and Belts.
Yeah.